and it is the markets update. The JSE touching the 70,000 points in intraday trading for the first time in a week yesterday, while the rand broke below the 16 to the dollar on the back of hopes that China will ease its COVID-19 restrictions. Jimmy Moyaha is independent markets analyst, and he joins us now to talk us through some of the market moves. Jimmy, thank you very much for your time and patience, sir. Give us a sense of how the JSE is performing in early trade.
Morning, Tony, and morning to the viewers. The JSE is performing firmer after a bearish week that we saw. We've been seeing a lot of bearish price movement over the last couple of weeks. We're seeing a strong recovery from that 60,000 points mark on the top 40, currently sitting at around 63,000 points. We're performing quite well across all sectors, but Adcorp up, but some mining stocks up, Ascendus Health in the green. So overall, a firmer day today, or firmer starts to the day today. We're hoping that the news we get from Stats SA coupled with the news we'll get from MPC will give us a strong NPP.
Yeah, let's talk about Stats SA, which is set to release inflation data in the next hour or so. What can we expect from this data, and will it give clues about the most watched institution, I would say, when it comes to our finances? That's the decision of the NPC about whether or not to raise interest rates. Some people already talking about 50 basis points that the Reserve Bank could raise the rates by.
Yeah, so we're expecting core CPI month on month to come in lower than previous months, but we are expecting core CPI year on year and other CPI figures to remain consistent, sitting at that 5.9% level. That's concerning for SARB. Obviously, they want to keep it below that 6%. I think if we get a positive reading on the inflation data today, we might hope that SARB would give us a bit of a reprieve on the interest rate hikes and go for a 0.25% or 25 basis points hike, which is unlikely though. Consensus at the moment is 50 basis points, following what we've seen in terms of rand performance, what we've seen in terms of dollar performance, what we're seeing in terms of energy price pressure and fuel price pressures as well. So that's going to be some driving factors that MPC is looking at, along with the data that's coming out today. I'm hopeful that the data will be a lot positive than what we're seeing in some of our neighboring markets, some of our emerging market partners, and hopefully that will give a bit of root, a bit of breathing room at consumers.
Sure. Hey, Jimmy, the line to you, not holding up steady at all in terms of the sound. So let's try and see if we can squeeze in the next question. If it doesn't hold up, we may have to leave this conversation there. Let's quickly talk company news. Shoprite Checkers establishing a black economic empowerment transaction through the formation of the Shoprite Employee Trust. That is absolutely good news. But what do we know about this scheme?
So we know that the scheme is going to take Shoprite's overall BEE holding position to about 19%. We know that about 120,000 or 126,000 employees are set to benefit from this. And we also know that Shoprite will be providing about 900 million, or just under 900 million rand as a contribution for the financing of, or for the subscription of the shares in the trust. And there's an initial distribution of about 77 million rand as well that will go on for the 6 months to the 2nd of January. So from now until the 2nd of January. We only expect that this transaction will affect their earnings by about 2.5 to 2.7%, so just under 3% there. And Shoprite has already outlined that they are looking to continue to support the employees through this, and they're looking to link the dividend to the dividend of Shoprite Checkers, or Shoprite Checkers rather, to Shoprite Holdings for the benefit of the employees.
Finally, let's conclude the conversation with the transaction capital earnings, which grew at levels higher than the pre-pandemic levels. Talk us through that performance.
Absolutely. So Transaction Capital has outlined that one of their big performers, aside from SA Taxi, has been We Buy Cars. We, of course, know Transaction Capital owns about 75% or just under 75% of We Buy Cars. And they've outlined, in addition to that, a positive outlook. So We Buy Cars recently expanded into Morocco, and they've said that this is positive for them and part of a global expansion that they're looking at. On the SA Taxi side as well, they've outlined that their revenue streams from SA Taxi, whether it's from SA Taxi Finance or SA Taxi Protect, which is their insurance arm of the SA Taxi business, all of those elements are doing well. They've basically shared that core earnings and headline earnings and basic earnings are all up. We know that core headline earnings are up about some 38%. Interim dividends up some 74% as well. So overall, very positive results from Transaction Capital. They've also confirmed that their financial and liquidity positions remain strong, which will allow them to continue to expand their operations and continue to finance and facilitate their expansion into, as I said, Africa and beyond that. From the business's side as well, I mean, their outlook going forward is that We Buy Cars will continue to provide strength for the business going into the second half of, or going into the next 6 months, and their focus is going to be on continuing to grow that business and grow other core areas of SA Taxi. They've also spent a lot more on their acquisition of non-performing portfolios. That's gone up some 90-odd%, up to, I think they spent about 600 million in that respect there. So they're looking to unlock some value in those non-performing portfolios as they continue to acquire them.
Independent markets analyst Jimmy Moyaha, thank you very much. That line to you holding up suddenly as soon as I started complaining about it. Thank you very much, Jimmy, for that markets update.